yeah, this poem is just about the heaviness of a lot of world issues and also what to do with that information, what to do, like what can we do as human beings. You ready? Our kids are splitting atoms now without knowing how to see, breaking down our existence and selling it for parts because we forgot to teach them about the magic of wholeness and the pulsing harmony of 7 billion human hearts. And a server in the sky might read my DNA, but does it know what makes me cry fury into the bleak black obscurity between human civilization and our plastic creations? Fabrications to feed the void that our souls left behind on their way out the door. While we sat, soaking wet in flooded fields of food, waiting for our governments to bail us out. Hundreds of thousands of our siblings in East Africa were dying of thirst and fleeing from drought. And while scientists scramble to find a quick fix to this chaos, we are dying of disconnect down here. Paralyzed by fear, too numb to cry, too busy to dream. The bus just stopped on Albert Street, and someone in apartment 36B thought she heard God scream. Oh! And yesterday, I heard my mother's voice in the echo on the phone before the telemarketer piped up, and I realized that echo was my own. In the Aamjiwnaanga First Nation, on St. Clair River in Ontario, there is only one boy born for every 2 girls, and the smokestacks of the surrounding oil refineries continue to burn defiantly. Aamjiwnaanga and her children bearing a brutal human cost while we wait for science to determine the exact origin of this loss. And every time I use plastic or oil produced by Shell or Esso or DuPont or Dow, I am complicit in this. Every time I drive or turn on the lights, I participate in this scientific experiment on human life. This truth can suffocate, like the toxic smoke rising from Chemical Valley can render my dreams asthmatic, my creativity barren. Heavy with culpability and desperate for light, sometimes the only way out is to write. Pouring inky empathy onto page after page of old growth. In the bleak black immensity of the world's current woes, my efforts often feel futile, laughable, selfish, and small. My writing will not overhaul capitalism, nor patch up the ozone layer. It will not return 50 million climate refugees to their homes, nor single-handedly realign the destructive values of an entire civilization. My writing will not save the world, but it might save me. It might keep me breathing, alive, awake enough to dream and bold enough to cry. I once heard a poet and Auschwitz survivor say that during her time in the concentration camp, her hunger to write was as strong as her hunger for food. I have had the privilege of never experiencing starvation, but I do know that writing is as nourishing to my soul as food to my body. And without it, I am lost, wounded, voiceless, and without a present, strong, and vocal me, I'd like to believe that something would be missing from my community. If our kids are ever to learn about the pulsing harmony of 7 billion human hearts, we need creative diversity like we need biodiversity. My impulse to create is no different from that of carrots, or fungus, or frogs. I am drawn to writing like carrots to soil, like mushrooms to compost, like frogs to good mud. My poetry flows from the same source as the force that moves my monthly blood. A sunflower would never consider not blooming because her brothers were growing extinct. She might feel their loss in her cells, but she would still grow, channel grief into pollen, and with the help of the wind and the bees, continue sowing seed. So in the name of all of our siblings who have died from colonization, climate disaster, hunger, and war, in whose deaths we are all complicit, let us nurture our inner innovator, artist or kook, and continue to compost and protest and dance and cry and love. For the sake of the earth, in all of her abundant glory, let's make space for the wild, the weird, the witty, the eccentric, downtrodden, lyrical, magic, and fun. Let's honor the creativity of everyone. Thanks, Rob. And thank you guys.